What's going on, everybody? It's Lil Davy, and I'm back here with another video. And when I'm on the couch, I got a video, I got a story time, I got something serious to do. So this is a video that has been requested by a lot of people, and as you can see in the title, this video is about why I'm not getting married anymore. So back in August, a lot of people saw me get engaged. I've been in a relationship now. Well, I'm not in a relationship anymore, but um, you know, the relationship really wasn't, I would say, that long. Honestly and truly, it hasn't even really been a year yet. And I know a lot of people feel like it was rushed. A lot of people feel like I should have taken my time. But sometimes when you're in a moment, when you're around someone all the time, it's like you really already know. You understand? Sometimes it's not a matter of time, if you understand. But I feel like I definitely should have taken my time in a situation, because maybe if I had taken my time, then a lot of things could have been avoided. And my advice, like from getting out the relationship, would definitely be to get to know someone, to understand that you want that person in every single way, because sometimes people present themselves as things that they are not. And I won't sit here and say that I was an innocent person, but I would definitely say that people can drive you to do things that you don't want to do. And one thing about me, I'm not really attracted to unmotivated people. So if I'm around someone and that person is unmotivated, honestly, that kind of pushes me away, that turns me off, that makes me fall out of love with that person. And when I say I'm not a good person, it means that I have also myself done things that I am not proud of. I have also done things that was wrong. But in all reality, in the best parts of the relationship, I was loyal. I was very loyal. And I never physically cheated or anything. But um, I'm big enough to admit that I stepped out, but it was not physical. Not saying that it's not, meaningful, or it's like nothing because it was not physical. That's not what I'm saying at all. It was definitely wrong the way that I approached the situation. And I feel like instead of doing what I did, I should have just left so that I could avoid hurting someone. So for me, it's just like, I felt like the relationship was very depressing. I was with someone that was always down all the time, like their emotions would spiral, and then they would blame me for the reason why they depressed 24/7. But in reality, I feel like that's not really that's not really what it was, because we could be having the best day ever, and you would just down my mood. And you know I thought long and hard about making this video, but I feel like at the end of the day, I want to talk about it, you know, and even up to the last part of the relationship, I took initiative, was willing to go to therapy or whatever. And I feel like what ended up happening was, okay, this person made me feel like I said, I'm not really attracted to people that are complacent in life. And this person, I guess, made me feel like after I cheated on them, yes, they changed, understandable. But it really made me feel like I tried like everything I could. I was loyal, all of that afterwards. I did everything I could possibly do. And it was like that person didn't really want me to change, because even when I changed, it felt like they were manipulating me. It felt like they were kind of like over abusing the fact that I cheated on them, because it was literally months later and they were haunting me with it, even though I was a different person, even though I stopped doing the things that I was doing, even though I took initiative to do certain things to show that how I was sorry. And the reality is, I believe that I really fell in love with trying to prove to that person that I was worth it, trying to prove to that person that I was sorry without forgetting the reason why things even happened in the way that they did was because of my unhappiness. I was unhappy in every single way. Honestly, I was not really happy sexually. I was not happy mentally, because I might have had other things going on, but it's really hard being with someone that's depressed all the time because sometimes their depression can kind of weigh on you. And I feel like that's what really happened to me. And so now I kind of like, I didn't feed off of that negative energy. So I kind of feel that in me and I got to get rid of that negative energy, bro. So it's like, not trying to shame anyone, talk bad about anyone, because shit happens, relationships don't work. I love her to death. I will always love her. She's the first girl that I proposed to. I kind of was engaged before, but it wasn't nothing really real. You know, I was younger, I was with someone else, but that was the first time that I went and I proposed to someone. But I feel like how we met was really the first red flag because we met through someone that was her friend that I was talking to that ended up having a girlfriend that ended up lying to me about lots of stuff about their life and I ended up talking and you know what? I ended up not caring because at the end of the day, who's to stop me from love? You understand? Like if she's the person that God had for me, then she's the person that God had for me. If we met like that, then we met like that. And I looked past a lot of things with her. Like in the beginning, it was like I was okay with certain things. I looked past a lot of things because I felt like I thought she was attractive. I was feeling her energy and her vibes. Like we gelled pretty good. You understand? So it was like nothing about her made me not want to be with her until I stayed with her for a while and certain things started to happen and certain things started to unravel and I started to understand like, damn, like it's really hard to be with somebody that's not really at your level. And it's okay for someone to not be at your level and you want to date them, but in all reality, it's not because it's always going to be hard. You understand? You will lose yourself trying to build someone up. You will lose yourself trying and building someone up doesn't really have to do with giving them money. That also has to do with dealing with them and their depression, trying to find ways to help them, trying to be there for them, trying to pour into them. Because guess what? Those people still turn around and they say, I didn't ask you for nothing. I didn't ask you to do that, but you willingly accepted it. You understand? And it's kind of ungrateful too. It's ungrateful because it's like you didn't have to ask me. I care about you. I love you. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you on higher levels. I want to see you do this. I want to see you do that. And it's like, I feel like I was a very lustful person. So I didn't care what someone looked like. I didn't care like, not what they look like. I didn't care what someone's situation was. All they had to do was be pretty and I automatically feel like they deserve the world and they don't gotta be in the same position as me because I could take care of them and I could take care of myself. But really, as young adults, we have to lose that thought. We have to stay away from people that are complacent. We have to stay away from thoughts that we could just jump into a relationship with a female and they don't have to have it together because the reality is, if you sit down and think to yourself and you say, if I was in this female situation, would she talk to me? And you'll get your answer because the reality of that is no. I feel like I love this person regardless of every situation they had. I wanted better for them. And I feel like they don't even realize the level I'm on, the level they on, and how if everything was swapped, they would not talk to me. They would not talk to me. Literally, someone brought it up today. They said, if you were a bank manager and you met this girl, she worked at a gas station, she pumps gas for a living, you would go talk to that girl, even though she don't got nothing going on. You would go build up that female. You think a bank manager woman is going to go build up a guy that's working at a gas station? No, she won't. I feel like we got to date within our brackets because the issue that is going to come is you're literally going to be settling for less. You understand? And it's okay to build people up, but all the time, not really, because sometimes it could be a strain. You could lose yourself building that person up. You could lose your resources building that person up. And guess what? That person could literally leave you after you was the one that was there when they didn't have nothing. I'm not saying that I have life all figured out. I'm not saying that I've reached completely where I want to be in life. But what I am saying is that if someone isn't trying, if someone isn't actively like pursuing something, because there's a difference between someone saying, oh, I was trying, I went here to do this, but I didn't do it because you made me mad. No, no one in, I don't care how mad someone makes me, I'm still gonna go through with what I gotta do, and I'm still gonna do what I gotta do. But there's people out here that like to blame people for the things that going on in their life. The only person that is responsible for you is you, because at the end of the day, we all got a sad story, bro. We all have a story. And it's like, for me, I feel like I work very hard. I come from a different country and I got a lot going on for myself. So to allow somebody that ain't even really like leveled with me to kind of, take that away from me, it's like, it's not really adding up. When you work hard, you got to know your worth, bro. You got to mess with people that know your worth, that appreciate things, because the reality is, if you treat someone better than everyone ever treated them in their life, they are going to hurt you. You know why? They're not used to good treatment. They're not used to it. So it's like, you could sit there and say, boy, I was this and that for this girl, and she diss me, and she treat people better that was, that didn't even look out for her. And it's like, people also feel like, oh, I got 50 people in my DMs, the grass greener on the other side, so I'm about to go talk to them. Them people only want to smash. When you need somebody that down for you, and you remember that person that was there for you, it gonna hurt you. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. Like I say, I'm not saying what I did was right. It was definitely wrong. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't have been pushed to do certain things if I was happy in my relationship, if I had taken the time to get to know someone. I mean, I was happy, but it was also where it's like I said, I was just overlooking everything, and I was okay with giving someone the benefit of the doubt, because at the end of the day, I believe that, you know, someone could change their life around, but your job ain't to save anybody. Let them change their life around and come back in your life, but don't let them destroy you. Don't let them suck from you. Don't let them suck your energy. Don't let them suck your money. Don't let them suck what you have to offer to them from you. When they at your level, tell them to meet you at your level. You feel me? Because it's not gonna work. Oh, I want to go to a nice fancy place that I about to spend like $300 eating there, and now you angry. You don't want to go because you can't afford it. Well, if you could afford it and they can't afford it, and now you gotta limit yourself, it kind of ain't really working out, and it's not fair. And it's not that people think that they're better than you. It's just that you don't want to settle for less. Never settle for less than you deserve, because the reality is, when people mind fixated on not doing better for themselves, or when people mind fixated on the fact that they want to blame others for everything that happening in their life, no, you got to let them go, because the reality is, you cannot blame anyone for the things that happen to you. You cannot blame anyone for anything that goes on in your life, because I knew you for less than a year, right? Just saying, like in general, I know you for less than a year. You know your girl for less than a year. You know your girl for 2 years. What the hell was she doing with the rest of those 20 something years before she meet you? Why she feel like you're the reason for her downfall? Not saying that relationships aren't time consuming, and sometimes you could be using your time to pour into other things, just like how I'm making this video right now. But also, it's to a point where while you're in a relationship, you have to learn how to separate relationship from your personal life, okay? You cannot let your relationship get in the way of your goals, because if the relationship getting in the way of your goals, you have to let it go. People might call me messed up. Oh, there's no reason for cheating, blah, blah, blah. The world don't end at cheating. I'm sorry to tell you, but that's not the only issue that a relationship has. You feel me? And a person that is trying is everything. And until someone meets someone that actually doesn't try, to change, that actually doesn't try to do better, that actually continues cheating on them, they will not appreciate you. They will never appreciate you. And at the end of the day, some people use what people do to them to manipulate them to get whatever they want out of them. And that destroys the relationship. That completely destroys the relationship, because you cannot think that it's okay to manipulate someone. Okay, yeah, that person was wrong, But man, at the end of the day, I rather give someone a chance that I see actually willing to pour into me, willing to change things for me. Because the way the world going today, it hard out here. It hard, bro. And at the end of the day, oh, if the roles were reversed, I would have definitely been hurt. But guess what? I didn't give people chances upon chances, and you know what happened? They disappoint me. They continue to do the same thing. So knowing that I am the person that I am, knowing that I was out here trying, I was out there giving it my all, I was out there trying everything in the book, but then that person was on the other side changing. You can't expect me to change and you remain the same. How you could sit down and say, I'm not changing, but you're literally the same person. You're literally expecting me to be different, me to continue showing you that I'm different while you over here changing. And I'm not saying that people don't change because they ain't hurt, but it just won't work. You have to understand, when you take somebody back, you have to be willing to forgive that person and let things go. I'm not saying don't have your guard up. I'm not saying that you won't still be hurt. All I'm saying is it will never work if you're sitting here on one side, beating down their back, on the other side, they changing, and you bleeding on them, you pouring on this person. It will not work because that's not how it works, okay? Both people have to be trying in a relationship. Okay, your dude cheat on you and he's not cheating on you anymore. He's being respectful to you. He's showing you he's sorry. He's doing all these things. You, on the other hand, every day dragging him down about something that he did months ago. And you expect him to be okay staying in a relationship. It's poisonous. You're literally tormenting that person. Don't forgive me if you're going to torment me. Okay, because I'm a genuine person, and when I mess up, I want to do everything in my power to make things right. You understand? But people are not going to learn until you're not in their life anymore. Okay, you know, I've been called a terrible person. She said she hated me and all of that stuff, and guess what? I'm a terrible person and you hate me because I was texting somebody. Okay, so everything else that I was for you just went out the window. Everything else that I did, everything else that I was for you just went out of the window like that. People show their true colors, bro. Because if I really love someone down, I love them bad, I'd forgive them. I've been in this situation before. Trust me, I have. And I know it hard and I know it hurt. But if I really want to be with you, and I know that me blowing down your back, it won't make anything better. I will not do that. If I know I can't handle it, if you can't handle it, if you can't handle the pain that someone has caused you, leave them the hell alone. You don't hurt them back. You don't sit down and manipulate them while they out here really trying and give into a situation, because that's only going to further tear that situation apart. You understand? But yeah, I know a lot of people been asking me to really make this video. I just had to sit down and really think about it, because some days I'm a roller coaster. Some days I feel great. I'm on live, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitch making a video. Some days I feel terrible and I'm hurting because I had to leave a situation to save myself because that person was changing. I had to leave the situation and it hurt me. It hurt me very badly because I love the hell out of like that was my person. I love the hell out of her. I love her with everything in me. You understand? And it hurt me to have to leave because I was willing to fix things. I was willing to change, and they was willing to just continue to be the same, to continue to bad habits, continue to not see what I have been. You understand? To them. So it's like at the end of the day, we want things to work, but sometimes God have a bigger plan for you. Sometimes people are distractions, and the only way to get away from those people is for God to hurt you. He got to hurt your feelings. He got to sit you down. And boy, I ain't saying what I did wasn't wrong. I know it was wrong. And I have been more than apologetic. I have more than overly expressed how I went wrong, and I've been overly everything. I'm literally like at this point, because it's like I did everything that I possibly could to fix a situation. You understand? So please, man, if y'all actually ain't gonna give people a chance, just leave them alone. Just let them go. Okay? Don't let somebody go out all out for you for months and months and months trying to prove to you that they different and you just blowing down their back, blowing down their back, throwing your depression on them every day, and then you expect them to not feel some type of way. And then another thing, people feel like, okay, they're going to deprive you sexually. They feel like depriving you sexually is a good thing after you cheat or whatever, right? Not saying that you don't feel funny giving up your body to someone after they, break your trust and disrespect you. Hell yeah, you would. But at the same time, it's also to a degree where it's like, how long will this last? Because you also have to understand that you decided to take this person back, and we all as human beings have sexual needs and sexual pleasures. So if you be like, all right, yeah, I just need a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, to be, to not be into anything sexually, that's understandable. But think about it like this: when you want it, you want it. But when they want it, you don't want to give it to them. And you took them back in. They cheated on you, whatever. I didn't physically cheat. That's all I'm saying. You took them back in, whatever. And what happened now is uh it's just to a point where it's like you took them back and you feel like going months without doing anything sexually with them is gonna make the situation better. It's gonna make the situation worse, honey. All right. But anyway, y'all, that's the story. And that's the story time. Y'all make sure click the link in the bio. Click the link in the pinned comment section in the detailed section. Follow me on Twitch. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like the page. Share the page. And make sure that you turn on your post notifications. Peace.